The California sun blazed down on Beverly Hills as Adam Sandler pulled into the studio parking lot. At 58, the comedian still maintained the same infectious energy that had defined his career, though time had etched light wrinkles around his eyes, signs of decades of laughter. Today was just another workday, reading through scripts for his next Netflix project. "Morning, Marcus." Adam nodded to his bodyguard as he stepped out of his Tesla. Marcus Reeves, a former Marine with 15 years of personal security experience, returned the greeting with a professional nod. At 42, Marcus had protected Sandler for the last 3 years, becoming more than just security. He was practically family. Standing 6'3" with broad shoulders and a vigilant gaze, his presence alone deterred most potential threats. "Got those basketball tickets for your daughter," Adam mentioned, handing Marcus an envelope. "Courtside Lakers as promised. She'll flip out. Thanks, boss." A rare smile crossed Marcus's typically stoic face. The studio hummed with activity as Adam made his way through the labyrinth of hallways, Marcus following at a respectful distance. Producers, writers, and assistants greeted them both, Adam with enthusiastic hellos, Marcus with respectful nods. The bodyguard maintained his professional distance while scanning each room, each corner, a habit formed through years of service. The script reading ran longer than expected, stretching into early evening. Outside, the sun had begun its descent, behind the Hollywood Hills, casting long shadows across the parking lot as they emerged from the building. "Dinner at Madeo's?" Adam suggested, scrolling through messages on his phone. "Rob and Kevin are meeting us there." Marcus checked his watch. "We should take the back exit. There's a fan group that somehow found out you're here." Adam shrugged. "They're just fans, Marcus. They've been waiting all day. I should at least say hi." 10 minutes. No autographs," Marcus conceded, already adjusting their route. As they rounded the corner toward the small gathering of fans, Marcus noticed a man standing slightly apart from the others. Something about his posture, too rigid, too focused, triggered Marcus's internal alarm. The man's hand drifted toward the inside of his jacket, and in that instant, Marcus knew the day was about to become anything but ordinary. It happened in seconds. The small crowd of fans erupted in excitement at the sight of Adam Sandler approaching, phones raised to capture the moment. Marcus stayed close, his eyes continuing to track the lone figure who had now separated further from the group, moving with deliberate purpose. "Adam! Adam!" The chorus of voices rose as the comedian raised his hand in greeting. Marcus saw it before. Anyone else? The glint of metal as the man withdrew his hand from his jacket. Training took over. In one fluid motion, Marcus lunged forward, positioning himself between Adam and the threat. "Gun!" Marcus shouted, simultaneously shoving Adam backward with one powerful arm while reaching for his own concealed weapon. The first shot cracked through the air as fans scattered, screaming. The bullet grazed Marcus's shoulder, tearing through his suit jacket. Without hesitation, Marcus drew his weapon, but didn't fire. Too many civilians in the background. Instead, he charged forward, closing the distance between himself and the attacker. The assailant, a man in his 30s with wild eyes and disheveled appearance, fired again, the bullet whistling past as Marcus tackled him to the ground. The gun skittered across the pavement as both men grappled. Marcus pinned the attacker with professional precision, subduing him seconds before studio security personnel converged on the scene. "Secure Mr. Sandler," Marcus barked at the security team, blood seeping through his torn jacket sleeve. Adam stood frozen against the building wall, his face pale with shock. 2 security guards immediately flanked him, escorting him back inside the building as police sirens wailed in the distance. Within minutes, the parking lot transformed into a sea of flashing lights. Police secured the scene while paramedics attended. To Marcus's shoulder wound, "It's just a graze," he insisted as they cut away his sleeve. Detective Rivera approached, notebook in hand. The suspect's not talking yet, but we found photos of Mr. Sandler and his family in the guy's pocket. Looks like he's been planning this. Marcus nodded grimly. I noticed him separated from the crowd. Body language was off. Good catch, Rivera said. Another few seconds, and this could have ended very differently. Inside the building's secure conference room, Adam paced back and forth, running his hands through his hair. When the door opened and Marcus entered, arm freshly bandaged, Adam stopped. Mid-stride. Jesus, Marcus, he breathed. You took a bullet for me. Marcus shrugged his good shoulder. Just doing my job, sir. No. Adam shook his head, his voice uncharacteristically serious. That was way beyond the job description. The room fell silent as the reality of what had just transpired settled over them both. The attack dominated entertainment news the following morning. Grainy cell phone footage captured the moment Marcus intercepted the gunman, the images playing on a continuous loop across every major network. Headlines screamed, Adam Sandler narrowly escapes assassination attempt, and bodyguards. Heroic action saves comedy legend. Adam's Brentwood home transformed into a fortress overnight. Additional security personnel patrolled the perimeter while police maintained a visible presence on the street. Inside, Adam sat at his kitchen island, scrolling through an endless stream of text messages and missed calls from concerned friends and colleagues. The police identified him, Jackie, Adam's wife, said quietly, placing a cup of coffee in front of him. Some deranged fan who blamed you for his personal failures. Had a manifesto and everything. Adam nodded absently, the shock still evident in his subdued demeanor. Where are the girls? My sister took them to her place in San Diego, Jackie replied. Until things settle down. A soft knock at the kitchen door announced Marcus's arrival. His left arm rested in a sling. The just a graze wound had required 15 stitches and damaged muscle tissue. You should be home resting, Adam said. Standing to pull out a chair for him, Marcus remained standing. I've been coordinating with the security team on revised protocols. We need to make some changes moving forward. The conversation shifted to practicalities, schedule adjustments, enhanced advance work before public appearances, additional personnel for family protection. Throughout the discussion, Adam watched Marcus, noting the professionalism that never wavered despite his injury. When their security meeting concluded, Adam walked Marcus to the door. My family wants to meet you, Adam said suddenly. My parents, my brothers, they've been calling non-stop. They want to thank you in person. Marcus looked uncomfortable with the attention. That's not necessary, sir. It is to them. It is to me. Adam's voice cracked slightly. My daughters still have a father because of you. For the first time since the incident, Marcus's professional facade softened. I have a daughter too. I understand. As Marcus left, Adam stood in the doorway, watching him go, the weight of how quickly life could change settling heavily on his shoulders. For a man who had built a career making people laugh, the gravity of mortality had never felt more real. In the quiet of the following days, as the media frenzy continued outside his gates, Adam found himself re-examining priorities, relationships, and the fragility of life itself. 1 week after the incident, Adam sat in his home theater, but no movie played on the screen. Instead, he stared at a blank legal pad, occasionally jotting down notes only to cross them out moments later. The house remained under heightened security, with Marcus overseeing operations despite doctors' orders to rest. You're supposed to be writing comedy, Jackie observed, settling beside him on the couch. That doesn't look very funny. Adam set down his pen. I keep thinking about that moment, how fast it happened, how different things could have turned. Out, she took his hand, her fingers intertwining with his, but they didn't turn out differently. You're here. We're okay. I've spent my whole career trying to help people forget their problems for a couple of hours, Adam said. But this feels like something I shouldn't just turn into a punchline. Outside the window, he could see Marcus conferring with another security team member, gesturing toward the property's eastern perimeter with his good arm. He won't take time off, Adam noted. The doctor said 2 weeks minimum, but he's here every day. Some people are defined by their purpose, Jackie replied. It gives them structure, meaning. The observation lingered with Adam throughout the day, resurfacing that evening when he invited Marcus to join the family for dinner. Request the bodyguard reluctantly accepted. Around the dinner table, the conversation flowed more easily than expected. Marcus spoke briefly about his military service, his transition to private security, and his 13-year-old daughter Sophia, who lived with her mother in San Diego. She wants to be a filmmaker, Marcus admitted with a hint of pride. Saves every penny for equipment. What kind of films? Adam asked, genuinely interested. Documentaries mostly, stories about veterans actually. Marcus smiled slightly. She interviews my old unit buddies whenever she can. As the evening progressed, Adam observed the man behind the professional mask, a father with dreams for his child, a professional with principles, a person whose split-second decision had altered the course of multiple lives. Later, as Marcus prepared to leave, Adam walked him to his car. I'm working on something, Adam confided. A different kind of project, not my usual stuff. Marcus nodded politely, clearly unsure how to respond. It's about purpose, about the moments that define us. Adam continued, I'd like to talk to your daughter about her documentaries sometime. Maybe help out with equipment or contacts. For the first time, Marcus appeared genuinely surprised. She'd be speechless. Her friends don't believe she has any connection to you. We're connected now, Adam said simply, whether we planned it or not. As Marcus drove away, Adam remained in the driveway, his mind clearer than it had been in days. The project forming, in his mind, wasn't just another comedy. It was something deeper, more meaningful. A story about intersecting lives, split-second decisions, and the ripple effects that follow. He returned to his blank legal pad with renewed purpose. 3 months. After the attack, the production offices at Happy Madison buzzed with unusual activity. Adam had assembled a small team of documentary filmmakers and was deep in conversation with a slender teenage girl who gestured animatedly as she described her vision. So the interview segments would be intercut with archival footage. Sophia, Reeves explained, her confidence growing as Adam nodded encouragingly. We show the before and after, how a single moment of service changes multiple lives. That's exactly what I was thinking, Adam agreed, making notes. We've got 5 veterans, confirmed for interviews next week. At the edge of the room, Marcus watched the exchange with quiet pride. His arm had healed, though physical therapy would continue for several more weeks. He had resumed full duties, implementing the enhanced security protocols developed after the incident. The office door opened as Rob Schneider and Kevin James arrived for their scheduled meeting. The documentary team still here? Rob asked, glancing around the crowded space. Sophia's running the show today, Adam explained, gesturing toward Marcus's daughter. She's got a better eye for this than any of us. Kevin clapped Marcus on the shoulder. Your kid's giving the boss orders now. You've officially made it in Hollywood. The light moment was interrupted by Adam's assistant, announcing that the Netflix executives had arrived for their presentation. As the room reorganized, for the meeting, Adam pulled Marcus aside. The network loved the concept, he said quietly. A documentary series about everyday heroes, starting with veterans, but expanding to first responders, teachers, people who change lives without recognition. Sophia hasn't stopped talking about it since you brought her onto the project, Marcus replied. Her mother says she's planning her college applications around film school now. Adam nodded, satisfaction evident in his expression. Some good coming from a bad situation. That's usually how it works, Marcus observed, if you look for it. The two men stood in comfortable silence, their relationship fundamentally transformed. From employer and employee to something resembling friendship. The incident that could have ended a life had instead created new beginnings, a documentary series, a teenager's budding career, a comedian finding deeper purpose in his platform. As the Netflix executives filed into the conference room, Adam straightened his posture, ready to pitch the most meaningful project of his career. The room quieted as he began speaking, his familiar voice carrying a new gravity. 3 months ago, I almost died in a parking lot, he stated simply. Instead, I'm here because someone was willing to put themselves between me and danger. That got me thinking about all the people who do that every day, not just bodyguards, but the people who run toward problems when everyone else runs away. On the screen behind him, the working title appeared, The Guardians, Ordinary Heroes in Extraordinary Moments. In the back of the room, Marcus stood at his post, vigilant as always, but allowed himself a moment of reflection. The job remained the same, protecting Adam Sandler, but the purpose had expanded beyond physical security to something larger, something that might outlast them both. Life had returned to some version of normal, but normal had been redefined. And in that redefinition, both men had found unexpected meaning.